Welcome to the Sexy Diva World podcast. I'm your host, Charlene, on a platform committed to a world that transforms the listening of powerful females. Our show will cover topics to empower and inspire females to discover and be their authentic self and create a life that they love.
Welcome to our podcast today, guys. Grab your glass of sparkling love. Set aside the challenges of the day, release the labels you give yourself, and join us as we explore how to live your life in your truth with freedom and fulfillment. I want to welcome our special guest today, and as we talk all about truth, freedom, and fulfillment. So welcome our special guest, Kim Hart. Kim, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited and glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Can you, want to welcome you to our platform and just let you introduce yourself and share a little bit about yourself, things you're passionate about.
Okay. I'm from Atlanta. As they say, born and raised. I'm a mother of 3 daughters, adult daughters, and I have 2 special grandkids that I love to pieces. I work in the dental field. I'm in the dental profession right now as a surgical assistant, and I enjoy writing, and even more so now because 3 years ago, I found myself engaging in writing a book. So I also love tea. Big fan of herbal teas, and so I portray my teas on Instagram, and also I do tea photography. I love teacups. Here's one of my little teacups. And so I share my photography on Instagram as well. So that's a little bit about me. I'm passionate about a lot of things. I love life. I believe in living, which means living in peace, which brings me freedom. And the freedom causes me to walk in my truth. I also believe in moving, not being in one place all the time. I'm a creative mind setter. So I like change, even if it's my house. If I move a piece of furniture in the house, that's a big deal to me. So change is always good. And I'm passionate about understanding my being. And that's something we talked about last year. And I thought, wow, who am I being? And I have not from that day forth stopped to self-examine myself and think, yes, who am I being? And I know that when you know who you're being, you're also walking in your purpose. So I know who I'm being today. I am walking in my purpose. I know why I'm here. And I'm excited to be able to bring that forth in so many ways in my life, through family, through love, through relationship, and just my everyday, things I do every day. I'm always examining who I'm being and what my purpose is, understanding my purpose.
Yes, that's so powerful. So yeah, and I remember our conversation. It's like, huh?
Right?
Yeah, that's so awesome. What keeps you grounded? Do you have a motto that you live by?
Well, yeah, probably what keeps me grounded the most is my faith. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that I can do anything without God, the man of steers. He's the author and my director of everything in my life. Also, my family. I have my family support. No matter what I'm going through, my family is there for me. And they always remind me of who I am. So that's important, family. And what else keeps me grounded? I would say my passion for life. And I do have a passion for life, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take life for granted. And so I stay grounded in this is today. Tomorrow is another day, a new day. I may not be here tomorrow. So taking advantage of today helps me to realize that it's important to stay grounded in the right things, in the proper places, I guess you could say, in life, proper places in life. So those are some of the things that keep me grounded.
And then what's your motto that you live by? You have a motto that you live by, or something you heard, something you like?
Well, yeah, I would say one of the greatest stories, and somebody's probably already said this, I don't know, but one of the greatest stories ever told, besides Jesus, is your own story.
Mhm.
And once you tell your story, it brings so much peace within. Um, I have a story. We all have stories that we can share, and our stories helps to take um, people over to that place where they can be open to share and know that they're okay, that they're safe. So um, yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's awesome. You know,
How about your book?
I heard the actor Christian Keys say something, and I've never let go. He said, "Every day is an incredible opportunity for miracles and magic."
Mm,
And I literally was like shook by that. I'm like, yes. You know, imagine waking up every day. That's what kids do. They wake up every day and they're excited for the day, right? So I
yeah,
wrote on my mirror, like today is an incredible, opportunity for miracle and magic. So that's how I wake up every day. Like it's an
absolutely.
incredible opportunity for miracles and magic. Like what miracle and magic's gonna happen today? So
I
that's what
love that.
I stole that from Christian Keys, and he stole my pen, and I stole his model. So to keep it like that. Anyways, how do you live your life in truth? What with the new age of social media, a lot of people, are more interested in looking good, looking like their life looks good. It's always about building the exterior, making sure the exterior is in alignment. So how do you live your life in your truth and with freedom and fulfillment? Because for me, fulfillment is everything. If I'm living life and I'm
Yeah,
not fulfilled, it's like, what's the point? Yeah.
absolutely. As I would say first, taking off your mask. I
Mhm.
did have a couple of things I took from my book, and I'm going to share this with you. And one of the clips out of the books are the 4 R's, and that's respect, receive, respond, and return. And I started out by journaling. That was how I took everything from here and put everything on paper. And I wrote this. I said, write down the hidden thoughts and feelings that you just can't seem to push aside any longer, and keep in mind to practice positive self-reflection. Write about the beauty of who you are. And the 4 R's. The first one is respect. Respect your truth. Be honest with yourself and remember that your truth has value. Find the hidden treasure in your truth. Then I talk about the story of my own, me walking in my truth. That's where my best life began. For so many years, I did not do that. And the minute I started walking into my truth, I found that freedom, and I also found the fulfillment. But it was all encased on the inside because I didn't share with anyone what was truly going on with me. And I know we'll get to that. So I'm going to get back to the R. The second R is receive, and that is accept your truth. Truth should not hold you captive, it should set you free. And give truth the permission. We should give truth the permission to heal us.
Woo!
Yeah, truth opens doors to freedom, receiving the healing you deserve. Receive that healing because we all deserve to be healed, and break the chains that bind you every day. And guess what? We all know that God is the healer. The third R is respond. How how have you allowed your truth to shape you? That was one of my questions I asked myself. How did I allow my truth to shape me? And what we need to do is respond to the experiences in our life. Respond to those experiences. We all have a story. I have a story, you have a story. And we can't turn back the hands of time, but we can take advantage of each day by starting today. And we start by determining our destiny and knowing that our joy and our peace are awaiting us. And then the last and final one is return. Turn in the mask. Give up the mask. Stop pretending. Stop pretending. It's okay that you hurt. It's okay that you have fears. It's okay that you're not as good as this one, or maybe you are better than that one, but we're going to always find something, one thing that we wished we had that was more, and these things throw us over into avenues in which we sometimes look at ourselves, and we may have a low self-esteem. We may not know how to deal with certain situations because we don't want to communicate our what's going on the inside of us based on what everybody else is doing. Like you said, that social pressure is serious. It's real, and we get caught up and intertwined in the pressures of what other people think about us, how we look. If we don't look good, we don't feel good, and we don't want to express that to anybody, because saying that we don't look good, we think about how people are going to respond to us. And what people are looking for, though, what I found is when we are able to express how we look and how we feel, that people go, you know what, I look and feel the same way. And so that's one reason I say, give out in return, turn in the mask, stop performing, and be authentic. Because you win, no matter what. You win. We win. We win. So those are my 4 R's. Respect your truth, receive and accept your truth, respond to your truth, and return the mask.
Woo!
So that you can walk in your truth.
Hey, like that resonates with me so powerfully, because there's so much power in our truths. Absolutely. And a lot of people, they don't allow themselves to respond because they're numb. They don't want to receive and accept their truth. And when you allow yourself to feel what there is to feel, if you're not feeling anything, you're going through something, you're not feeling anything. God gave us emotions for a reason, right? Absolutely. Then you're living life with that. It's like being numb through life. Mm-hmm. So really the power is in your truth and how you process your truth. That gives you access to freedom. That gives you access to fulfillment, right? So if you're not living in beautiful, you have no access to freedom. You have no access to fulfillment, That's and right. The powerful thing about owning your truth, knowing your truth, accepting your truth is that you get to share your truth. You're in control of how your truth is. There's no secrecy. There's no hiding. What if somebody finds out and they tell it differently? No, when you own your truth, you share your truth, the power remains with you. Absolutely. So that is, I'm just blown away. And I know that you've written a book, Kim. Can you, because everything you just shared is out of your book. Yes. Can you share what was your mindset? What really had you write this book? Because this episode is all about teaching powerful women in general, really how to live life in their truth, which then give you again access to freedom and fulfillment, right? I'm committed to what it looks like to give women access to create a life they love. So how did your book come about, and how does your book help women achieve that?
Okay. Well, the name of the book is Pardon My Truth. The reason I decided to title it Pardon My Truth is because I'm very, very open. It's not, it's all of my truth. It's the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful as well. And my book came about 3.5 years ago, when I was at my tipping point of literally not knowing what else to do other than I was going to explode. I felt like I was literally going to explode with all that I had here in my head. And one day it came to me, just take all of this stuff out of your head, all all your feelings, all my emotions and feelings. For some reason, I carried it here. I didn't carry it in my heart. It was the thoughts, the everyday constant thoughts. So I decided to put it down on paper. One thing I always enjoyed doing was writing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take from what's in my head and actually put it down on paper. And I'm going to write out what's here on paper so that I can actually see it. And now I can, try to look at it and deal with it. So as I began to write, and everything coming out of my head that I was dealing with, it became a story, my personal testimony of where I had come from. My book is about my life. I was married for 34 years to a wonderful man. I have three wonderful daughters, as you know, and we both wanted something that was I think that's everybody's dream, and that is the perfect family unit. My husband, however, had a struggle, which he came out 23 years ago. He came out and said that he was homosexual. And so, yes, and with me being the person I am, I was always looking at him as, wow, this is a good person. And what happened? And unfortunately, it was something we didn't deal with. He made a decision that he was not that, that's not who he was, that it was a struggle. And I took it as it was not that, that's not who he is, and it was a struggle. So it became our struggle for 20 years, 34 years of marriage, but 20 years of the marriage was a struggle because we hid our truth. He hid the fact that, well, his shame was, I don't want to be this. My shame was, I don't want you to be this. But yet we had kids who loved the both of us. My children loved their father, and so did I. I loved my husband. He loved me. So we made decisions based on our life as far as where do we go from here. And oh my gosh, the book it talks about the love, the anger, the resentment, the betrayal. It's a spiraling event. So the book goes like this. It's
Wow.
it's one of those books that people can actually relate to, because you don't have to come out as a homosexual, and you may be an alcoholic. You may be a liar. No matter what the issue is, somebody can relate to the story of hidden truth. Our truth was hidden for so many years, and it destroyed us, completely destroyed us. And so I can't give all the details in the book, but it's a great book. I talk about myself, my experience, because it wasn't just my husband struggling. I struggled as well. I struggled. I had daddy issues. I had insecurities. I had so many dealings with myself, within myself, that I had not even realized. And this journey for 20 years brought out all of that. I was able to see some things about me. My husband had his issue, but I did too. I had my issue as well. So the book is very, like I said, it's an open book of my life, and I'm glad to share it. I'm happy to share it, because I know so many people can find themselves in a situation, even though it's not my situation. They can stop and look and say, you know what? I have some truths as well. And what am I doing about those truths? Because at 20 years, I don't want to spend 20 years with, in hiding behind my truth. I want to be free. And that's where I came. I came to a point in my life where I wanted to be free. I would not accept anything except my freedom. And it took some time for me to get there. But when I got there, oh my gosh, it's who I'm a whole new person today. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. So awesome that you share this, because I know a lot of women can relate to, you've got women dealing with men who come out and say they're sex addicts. And there's, here's what I want to ask is, how long were you married before your husband came out and said his truth?
I was married at that point 15 years.
15 years.
Years.
And
well, about somewhere in there, between 10
Yeah.
to 15, almost 15 years.
Almost
Yes.
15 years. And then so you stayed in the marriage for how many more years before you decided to separate?
20.
20 years. And
Yeah.
what was the breaking point? I mean, you said your truth, he said his truth. Did you guys lived in in that truth, however you lived in it for 20 years? What was the breaking point that you all said to each other, we have to separate?
The breaking point was when we got to a point when we had no respect for one another. We got to a point to where we were um, just not good for each other. We were angry, and we did not suppress our anger anymore. He didn't want to talk about his dealings with homosexuality, and I did. He didn't want counseling, and I did. And by the time we decided let's do counseling, we had lost so much between the both of us, and our kids were older. And because we had suppressed for so many years, we were bitterly, I mean, we were angry. We were disrespectful and towards each other. We had lost respect. We disrespected. I can say we disrespected each other's office, and that was a breakdown. That was a barrier, and we just couldn't. We finally had to come to a point to where we had to face our truth and walk in it. And when we did face our truth, we totally walked in it. I walked away and he walked away, but he walked away and can't give away. I don't want to give away all the goods in the book, but I get the book and then you can see how he transitioned and then how I transitioned. But we transitioned going, parting our ways. But we did so finally in love. One thing in the book that's so clear and I love is that through my time of anger and bitterness, I remember God just telling me to just love. I had forgotten, I was so angry. I had forgotten how to pray for him and just love him as a person because I became homophobic, and I'm not homophobic, but I was towards my husband because I resented the fact that you like men, and I could not understand what role did I play in that? Although he wanted his marriage, he still wanted to be married. He still wanted his family. So did I. We just wanted our families. And I think we wanted our families for the same reason. We both wanted our unit, our family unit, but who we were and who we were becoming was changing that course. It changed in the direction of our marriage.
You shared that part of your truth is realizing that you had daddy issues. Do you want to share how you came up with the action, like really understanding that you had daddy issues, and how did you work through those issues?
Oh, I totally had daddy issues. When I was young, I was, I mean, as a little girl, I always desired this love for my father. My father was not in my life. And, yet he said all the time when I did talk to him on occasions, I love you. So that left this impact that I was loved, even though he was never in my life, hardly. That the words, I love you, resonated in my spirit very strongly. So I found myself wanting wanting love. I wanted that family connection too, because my mother, she was not the home. She worked a lot. She was a single parent. She was not that affectionate, giving, touchy kind of mother. We just basically, it was kind of like she was home, but we didn't have that mother-daughter connection. So I had no connection. I didn't feel like I had a connection with my mother, and I didn't feel like I had a connection with my father. But those little three words, I love you, I clung to. But it caused me to run after things I shouldn't have been running after, because I ran as a kid, young girl, teenager. I ran after love. That's why I got married so young. My husband was 17 and I was 18 years old when we got married. We were young. So that was a part of my daddy issue. I was looking for my daddy in somebody else, someone who would say, I love you. and
Wow,
meant it.
so many women can relate to that, Kim. So many women, I just, the importance of parents, your mom and your father, that's the foundation that sets every
That's
relationship in your life.
home. Yes.
Every relationship. So if you're having daddy issues and you don't resolve the daddy issues, that plays on, it's like the lens you put on in which you view men in life, right? And if you have mommy issues, that's the lens in which you relate to women in your life. And that's I know a lot of women can relate to that. How
Absolutely.
would you say that you establish the mindset? Okay, there's women who they're watching this podcast, they've read your book, and hopefully reading your book, they'll get it. But what nugget can you share that transitions women to having the mindset to really step into their truth, owning it, and living from their truth? What's the catalyst to get them there?
I think it's so many catalysts, but I would say the main catalyst is owning it. If people don't own their truth, they are in disbelief of what they truly feel. They don't want to feel what they want to feel. Being honest is an open door to walking in your truth. I am this. I do feel this way. I can't do so. Being honest, open doors. Because what happens is when we take all of our issues, our fears, our insecurities, we take these things that are so profound because after a while, you can only walk in your insecurities for so long. It starts to tell on you. It
Yep.
shows you up. And so what happens, people want relationships. They meet people and they want to be in a relationship. They want to get married, but they don't do one thing. And this is one thing I tell people all the time. Before you get to that part of, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, sit down with the person that you are planning on spending the rest of your life with and
Mhm.
ask them that one question. What is your truth? What are your fears? Because if you're going to tell your truth, you're going to talk about your fears, your insecurities. Everybody has a good success story. We all want to hear, when you meet somebody, you want to hear, how much money do you make? What car do you drive? Do you have a home? What school did you graduate from? All these things that that the world has designed to be the catalyst to get you to where you need to be. But it's not the catalyst. That's not the catalyst that get you to where you need to be. The catalyst that's going to get you to where you need to be is your truth.
Yeah.
Because you can't go into a marriage, into a relationship. Let's forget about the marriage. Without you can't even have a proper relationship that's not built on truth. This is why people find out later on that I didn't know you had these hidden issues because all we see or all they wanted to see was the beautiful things of the person, never thought to really tap into the ugly things of the people. So walking in your truth is one of those things where it's a mindset. You have to have a mindset to know that, hey, in every situation, relationship, in anything, whether it doesn't just have to be relationship, but walking in truth in your faith, in your finances, in your with your family, loved ones. Walking in truth sets you free all over, not
Yeah.
just one. It sets you free all over. So
That's
as long as you walk
powerful.
in your truth, you're walking in power. You're
Yes.
walking in power. You're walking in love. You're walking in joy. You're walking in peace. I get so excited.
Excited.
I
I
start
get it. I can
sorry.
like I feel the energy. I'm like,
Opens
give me
doors
some of that.
to
Give me
life.
some of that. Yes.
Yes. It opens
Yes.
doors to life. You
Yes.
can breathe. And what's better than life?
Oh,
We're living life every day. Live it to your fullness. Walk in your
that's
truth.
it. That's it. That is absolutely it. I can't wait for everyone to read your book. Um, this is such juicy, stimulating conversation that I think a lot of women can resonate with. Where can people find your book, Kim?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Amazon, one area you can definitely find my book. I don't have my website at this particular time, but you can definitely pick up the book on Amazon.
Okay. And what is your social media handle? Where can people find you on social media?
Instagram. I'm an Instagrammer. That's where you can
Awesome.
find all my teacup displays. So it's Instagram. It's Kim Hart, Hart, the number 2 art. And I'm gonna start sharing my book on Instagram as well. So come on over to Instagram and follow me. And we're gonna talk more about my book as it come out very soon. And talk about life. We're going to talk about walking in truth, and I want to hear your story, other people's story, as well as people listening to my story. And so we're going to do some daily journaling and some
Sip and see. I heard you're going to be doing a sip and see or sip and say, right?
Yes,
Sip and say.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
All right, awesome.
So I'm excited
Ladies,
about
you guys
that.
gotta find y'all. Go to Kim. So if they're looking you up on Instagram, they just type in Kim Hart and they can find you.
Yeah, they can type in Kim Hart or Kim Hart, the number 2 art. Kim Hart
Okay.
2 art. Mhm.
Okay, fantastic. And you talk about various things, various topics. You share teas, and now we're going to be looking forward to your sip and say, which is going to really share a little bit about your book. Well, that is
Absolutely.
extraordinary. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, we're connected because your father raised me. You know, my mother married your dad, and so you're my sister. For the audience that didn't know that, that's why we've got such great connection. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to have you in my life to talk to. Your energy is always off the chain, which is always great. So thank you for joining us and sharing your truth with us. And I know everybody who picks up your book is just going to really have the power to start their journey of accepting their truths and living and creating a life that they love. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thanks for having me, sis. I love you.
Love you so much. So, my sexy divas, I want you to always remember a sexy diva is a powerful woman, right? That is
Absolutely.
courageous, confident, unstoppable as she operates in her feminine energy and create a life that she loves. So, I encourage you this week to speak your truth, right? Honor yourself and stand in your power. And that's what makes you unapologetically a sexy diva, right? So if you connected with anything on this episode, I know you did. I know you connected with everything on this episode. Please share it with 5 friends. Share it because I know there are wonderful women out there that you know who can benefit from really just owning their truth. When you have authentic women operating in your truths, in their truths, that's how you build authentic connectivity with women, authentic friendships with women, authentic bond and connection with women because everybody is living and honoring their truth. They're not in competition with each other. So please share this episode, right? You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. Join our Facebook community and share your story. And let's build a sexy diva world together. Join us. Let's go.
Thanks for watching. Connected to this episode? Then join us. Let's build a sexy diva world together. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with 5 friends.